How do you overcome the fear of inevitable death? The beauty of life is that it's temporary. If it went on forever, we'd never appreciate anything. Without fall and winter, we'd never know the joy of flowers budding in the spring. You get past this fear by accepting that death is a reality for every person that's ever lived. We all face an inevitable end. The difference is in living in the moment and appreciating life to the fullest extent. This can mean so many things for different people, but seeking your personal version of fulfillment will bring you the highest life satisfaction. Death is unavoidable, living is a choice. Well, I don't fear death I fear the way to die. Why to different things? I don't know, dude. I guess my fear of death got override by the fear of heaven and the second death. That just death felt meaningless. Or it could be because of the inevitability of it for the common folk to go against it that feel like a waste of time to worry about it. I've thinking of it for almost 30 years. It lost meaning. Then again, it could gain more meaning the closer I get to my end, perhaps. Enjoy ice cream, friends, family, the sky, the ocean, breath, and all that. Are the eternity before you were born? Are you going to remember the eternity after you die? That made me think that if life just stops one day, and it'll be okay, I won't be around to worry about it. I just hope it's way down the line, and I'm in my like 80s, 90s. We'll never be ready to die, but we shouldn't act like it isn't coming. My issue now isn't death, but the loved ones I'll leave behind and the memories I'll miss out on. That's hard to cope with. No point in fearing what you can't do anything about. Let's say you're afraid of being burgled and someone on the internet convinces you to chill so you stop locking your door as much and then your place is broken into. Was your fear the thing keeping a burglary from happening? No, but one could easily argue it helped. Maybe you are far too paranoid, but your decisions do make a difference. Now turn back to death. How much has being afraid of the inevitability of death made death less inevitable? It's fear without function. There is something or there is nothing. The something is not to fear because it will be better. The nothing is no pain or regret. What terrifies me is the possibility of an endless repeat of lives. No free will, just and continuous loop of the exact same thing over and over. My life, this would be okay, I guess. But the thought of children experiencing the same agony, torment from disease or abuse really gets to me. Theoretically, it is possible for the past, present and future to exist at the same time. If you believe in an afterlife and feel you deserve it, then there is nothing to worry about. Look forward to your eternal bliss. If you believe there is nothing after you die, then why worry? The instant you die, always fears and thoughts cease to be. Sounds pretty peaceful, to be honest. Just believe what you want. Live your life to the best of your abilities, and let others live the way they want. Our fixation should be on what you can do while you are here, not what you do after. Death is scary as fuck, I agree. But I know very well if I'm meant to live a long time, I will see most loved ones meet that fate. My only hope is that when I pass, I am going before my children. Whatever lies beyond the eternal slumber, I want to be the one to greet them someday, not the other way around. And preferably in my sleep, as peaceful as possible, not in a frail, sickly, or vegetative state that my family has to bear witness to. Remember me for how I was, not how I ended. I was scared of myself or my loved ones dying, but after a while I realized that worrying about death isn't going to make my life any harder or easier. It's just gonna get in the way of me valuing life. Sorry if that doesn't help, but that's how I overcame death, by realizing it wasn't gonna get me anywhere worrying about death. First, I stopped the focus on the death part and turned to the fear part. Second, I consider that there are fates worse than death. Third, I give myself something to do that's meaningful, large and small. Ample, a 100-piece puzzle today set against my plans for career and family as an avoidance tactic I toss. Denialism aside, because enough people do that you end up with a bitter, nihilistic society. Thief, I try to laugh a lot. My granddad died of prostate cancer in his early 60s, and now my dad, 58, has also recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer. My mum is heartbroken and so scared of him dying, but dad isn't bothered at all. He says I could live with cancer and fear death for years, or I could step into the road and be hit by a bus in 10 minutes. Focus on the now. I'm obviously saddened by the news yet. I can't help but take salute his behavior. If he isn't scared, I shouldn't be either. Why would I fear a nothingness which I won't even experience? Everything in your body runs on electricity produced by your body from the energy in the calories we consume. When your body can no longer produce that electricity, you die. So what happens when an electric appliance can no longer use electricity? Nothing happens. Nothing at all. Ever again. Does the appliance know or care? No. It can't know because it can't use electricity. If it could, it would not be dead. 1. Do you worry about where you were before birth? Point 2. Do you worry before sleep? 3. If you buy into religion, go for it. But just knowing there are many religions with die-hard believers means they are all bullshit. But if you can believe it, great. Point 4. For me, there is something about the awesomeness of the immensity of the universe that is so comforting. We are, at the same time, nothing and everything. Small and just beautiful. The best way I have heard is to remind yourself that death is the price of life. You can't have one without the other. I guess for me, as I have a good life, if I have ever been asked to make a choice between a living and inevitably dying, or be never living at all, then I would always choose her, so no point getting upset about it. I got the better deal. I will die one day, and I hope it is a long way away and it isn't too nasty. But it will happen. For me, it never really left. The thing is that I found a lot of people who said that for them, almost dying was a really euphoric feeling. It's just a slow feeling where everything is okay and nothing hurts anymore before just no longer existing. I even found a clip of someone saying that they had a hard time accepting that they were alive, again because the feeling of letting go was just so nice for them. So that has made it easier to deal with it, I guess. Go to funerals, talk with old folks, read and educate yourself about dying. What has helped me in a way, ironically, was depression. Also taking care of people who are actually dying, and being there when they finally do. It sort of takes away the scary expectations, mythology and beliefs around dying, makes it more tangible. The reality of dying isn't really scary, and the very last moments can actually be sort of pleasurable and calm. To me, death is an opportunity. Like I'll be watching an isekai or some shit, and I'll be thinking, it should have been me. I don't really expect that to happen in real life. However, when I think of death, I'm like, what if I actually get reincarnated or go to heaven, Dan? That could be cool. Like it's the unexplored, so it might as well be something awesome. And if not, then I won't really be around to be disappointed. While you cannot stop the inevitable, you can grow peace with it. If your way consistently overcomes your enjoyment, you are not living. You're simply waiting to die a painfully slow way to live. Focus on living day to day. Don't think about next week or last week. Think about today and what you can do with it. Eventually you'll realize life is quite long. You will grow acceptance with fate and live for today. Just think about it as something peaceful. You won't even realize you're dying unless you're in terrible pain or about to die. It'll be like you don't exist anymore, where you won't have to worry or cry anymore. It is something that happens sooner or later. Treating it as something common, realizing that it is something good that even animals don't escape, was the key for me to stop worrying about it. I think about my death and it makes me sad because I want to see to the end. It makes me happy to know I'm witnessing such an exciting time. That's what they all say though. I just remember that the more time I spend thinking about my death, the more time I spend forgetting about my life. It's unavoidable and everyone will go through it. At least this time we all get to sit at the cool table together. I was afraid too. One night at 17 it suddenly felt peaceful. I can't work out why to this day. Perhaps I was in the middle of a suicidal breakdown. But even when level-headed I feel the same way now. I realized that just like accidentally falling asleep, you don't know. That's what it's going to be. I'm still scared and weirded out that we only get one chance at this. But I'm kinda at peace with it now. You don't? I've had the pleasure of dying once and revive. Heart attack. Shocked back to life. Our time on this messed up spinning wad of uncertainty is a clock ticking backwards. It's going to hit 0. Smile at a stranger. Hold the door open for that old man who watched his best friend die in a war zone. Put a dollar in the Salvation Army bucket. Pet a rabid raccoon. Whatever floats your boat. What helped me is that you need to realize your place in the universe. It sucks, but realize that in the span of the universe and the world you don't matter. Earth will still spin. The birds will still sing. People will continue with their day that didn't even know you exist. Tens of thousands of people die, and we are all sitting here on Reddit. It helped me a lot, but it's a very dreary idea. You can't really overcome it. 100. One-word acceptance turns into some sort of relief. I'm not looking forward to cease existing, but I'm also having a lot more physical pain every year that goes by thanks to skateboarding and mountain biking and my youth. I also hope I die old and over-medicated instead of in a fire or something terrible like a war. Well, I've already been dead. I didn't exist for billions of years before I was born, and I didn't even notice. Of course, another facet of this is billions of years will happen after I die, and I won't notice them either. Subjectively, the literal end of everything in the universe will happen instantly the moment I die. Gotta stay chipper when thinking about these things. Spending time in nature has been the best solace. After nature walking and hiking through the seasons, I've seen things wither and die, but they aren't lost. They are swept back into the ocean engine womb. No metaphor quite captures it, into the whole. And from that place is always new growth, new green. Nature does not know death, only metamorphosis, and we are part of that.